Do. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, top bell, so you get the notifications. I was gonna take the day off today, but I owe the truck drivers an episode. And not only that, I wanted to get this Steve Arrington shit off. Nick, you ready? Let's get it in. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Good. You ready, Nick? Let's get him. We're gonna take him back. Yeah. This wouldn't have been possible today without Steve Arrington. I was going to take the day off. Truck drivers, turn me up. I know this can assist you, brothers, getting on down the highway. Shout out to everybody tuning in across the world. That's Steve Arrington right there, man. That's that shit right there. Grew up on that shit, man. It just fills me, man, with this electric feeling. Like, let's say I use Steve Arrington for motivation today. God damn. Can a nigga get a breather?
Hold on. The beat would still play. Because I had turned it physically down.
Let's do it again. That shit sound good. One more time.
Right after your intro from the
Okay. Turn me up. Classic soul music. If you a hip hopper, that sound like Ice Cube right there. The nigga you love to hate, I believe. Shout out to the truck drivers, man. Turn me up. I just got off the road myself. I appreciate y'all. Joe Mule Trucking, shout out to you. Shout out to Curtis Baker, Quentin, all you King Made Music, all you guys buying that knittage all over the place, man. I really, really appreciate y'all. Got a lot of shit on my chest, man. If you listen to my previous episode, you know I've been going through something. Let me take my sneaks off. I'm in the booth barefooted. My left foot bothering me and shit. I just was in Vegas, man, walking around with them Louis loafers on, so them shits beat up my feet a little bit. You know what I mean? Them shits definitely ain't created for fucking walking whatsoever. Anyway, let's get into it, man. A lot of shit going on, man. I got something that I came here to do. I was going to do it on my live stream last night. Then I said, fuck it, you could go ahead and put it on a podcast. Then I had some time to think about it, and I said to myself, is it even worth it? You know what I'm saying? Is it even worth it? You know what I mean? One thing about the double cross, especially when somebody double cross you and their motive is probably like money or something. Their payment is money. My payment is clarity and shit. Now I understand and I can see, you know what I mean, exactly whom I'm dealing with, man. And it's just an eye-opener for things to come. And you can't pay for lessons like that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, homeboy, I'm going to try to be ethical here and shit. But if I get to blowing, man, I'm just going to erupt. And you know how that can be. But anyway, yeah. I took my shoes off in the booth. I'm comfortable. It's a lot of shit going on, man. Oh, my God, man. Let me start. Where should I start? I got to start with Draymond Green. Draymond is fucking up, man. I seen his little foul against the guy, against the Suns. And just totally uncalled for, man. You really, really pushing the line. Like the Rasheed Wallace comparisons. I don't recall Rasheed doing shit like that. Shit was more so verbal. You know what I'm saying? And, man, you keep putting your hands on these boys, man, they going to do something with you, man. You better keep in mind that them guys is investments. Them guys, are getting paid millions of dollars and shit, man. You fucking with people's money and shit out there beating up on these guys and shit, man. Like, that ain't a part of the game, man. And Draymond Green is good, man. Just play ball, my nigga. Just play ball. You know what I mean? Stay in the gym. Put in more work in the gym. That's the real key, man, in athletics and shit. You got to outwork your opponent in the gym. Like, you can be up against somebody who's more talented than you, but you can outwork him in the gym. You can raise your level of stamina and a bunch of other shit and beat him and compete with him. You know what I mean? By way of the gym. Shout out to the fitness guys, man. Word up. I was in a fucking gym in Vegas, and they had this section in the back of the gym that, you know, like went outdoors, but it was fenced in. This shit looked identical to a fucking state prison yard, man. I was like, whoa. And it just took me saying one thing about hearing metal clang, you know, I'm in the gym now, indoors. I'm used to hearing the metal clink, clank, clanking indoors, but when that metal get the clanking outdoors, that's a whole nother sound that you'll never forget it, especially if you was incarcerated and shit. So I heard the metal, and I looked outside. I looked in the corner of the gym, and they had a door that went to an outside area, and I went out there, and lo and behold, a goddamn yard. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Vegas. I just came from out there, man, killing shit. Brought y'all back an exclusive with Tash from the Alcoholics. And my man, Busy B's interview was doing a lot more numbers than Tash right now. I was surprised by that. But shout out to the Chief Rocket, man. He shared some insight in this part one about legendary MC Melly Mel and shit, and how before Melly Mel, hip-hop was kind of like a call and response thing and shit. Melly Mel was the first one to start writing bars as we know them today. So shout out to both of those guys. Make sure y'all go to the channel and catch up with that. I've been doing a flood. I already told y'all the online flood is going on right now. Y'all see what's happening on the channel. Make sure y'all tuned in, man. Get y'all some of that Hassan Johnson. You know what I mean? Get y'all some of that Tash. Get y'all some of that shit that I put up on the Dribble podcast, which you're listening to right now. Wigs from the Theodore unit. I did so much in the last week or so, man. I'm drawing a blank right now, but make sure y'all go to my channel and get y'all some dope hip-hop, sports, or fashion created with love and shit. I put my passion and my all into this shit, so make sure y'all enjoy what I'm putting out there. Anyway, Maino. Jermaine Champagne. You never disappoint me, man. You don't. You be on your hoodlum 24/7, man. You never let up. You stay on your ignorant hoodlum bullshit. And this time, you blew an interview that Angela Yee had from Collect Calls with Suge Knight. That's Dave Mays and Suge Knight. They call certain people from jail, and, you know, I guess Angela Yee was on their calling list, and they called Angela Yee's show, which is Maino was a part of her show or whatever. And Maino got the disrespecting Suge Knight, man, talking about some is you and PC, how you feel now? Do you think dudes are still scared of you after you've been knocked out a few times? Just some sucker shit, some goofball shit, man. Defeating the purpose of even being there. You there with Angela Yee to conduct a show, and you want to be able to get the dopest, most high caliber content, and some interaction with Suge Knight from jail. That would have done an exceptional amount of numbers, and notoriety would have been drawn to Angela Yee's platform, and Maino as well and shit. And this nigga's a fucking saboteur. A fucking saboteur, man. He destroyed that broad shit, man. Dave Mays and them told him, man, we ain't gonna put that out. We don't want you to put that out. So, you know, that's the end of that. But yeah, man, you couldn't stand on your own as a rapper, then you couldn't stand on your own as Kitchen Talk, your own podcast, and you down with this chick, and you over there destroying her shit. Angela, and anybody that's listening, you got to understand this about Jermaine Champagne. Maino was slow. Maino was slow, man. There's some people amongst us, you know what I'm saying? There's some people amongst us who have established, I don't know, positions, you know, might have followings and stuff like that. Dr. Umar Johnson said it himself, you know what I mean? Our most degenerate and most retarded, you know, black women, men and women have the most influence, and we got to reverse that shit. You know what I'm saying? And Maino is fucking slow, man. I'm telling y'all, man. The whole time he's been around, he's always had a problem, man, with social skills, man. He don't know how to just cool it and shit. You know what I'm saying? He don't know how to do that. He don't have that in him, man. He come out them institutions and shit, man, playing razor tag and shit. You got to be shot the fuck out to run around trying to cut a mother face, and they, you know, vice versa and shit. Like, at no point have you taken into consideration your mother and shit, and, you know, how she feel about your face and things of that nature. But yeah, just a real space cadet, man. Been locked up most of his life. His IQ ain't that much higher than a motherfucker like Blue Boy. He just happened to find his way of, you know, making it out here, man, through that bullshit that he's been doing. And some people accept him. Angela Yee apparently accepted him. And, you know, you see what that got her. But I've been telling y'all the whole time, just think back to growing up when we was kids and shit. The niggas that was tough, the wild niggas that do something to you and all of that, they weren't good students in school. They weren't. Them niggas was problem students. Them niggas was in special class. Them niggas was suspended and in detention and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Attention deficit disorder problems and all type of shit like that. You know what I mean? Need medication and, you know, just can't function in society, you know, as a regular person, man. Like, he, in his mind, King Kong hoodlum and shit, man. That's where he's at with it, man. Whenever we hear about him, it ain't about no music. It ain't about no fashion. It ain't about a bitch he knocked or nothing like that. It ain't about nothing. It ain't about nothing that's tied to a grand opening or an award or some accolades or something. None of that. You feel me? Whenever his name come up, it's some bullshit, man. It's some aggressive shit because he can't turn it off. This is who he is and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I told y'all on Instagram, socially and emotionally disturbed. Those are people who just can't keep their hands to themselves and just can't kick it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just think back to when we was growing up and shit. You know what I mean? It was dudes that used to disappear all the time. He in the home again. He locked up again. Just can't stop doing shit. That's Maino. You know what I'm saying? I got mixed up in that type of lifestyle briefly, but I was able to curtail it because I come from good stock. I was intelligent to begin with and shit. You know what I'm saying? I just was living a degenerate lifestyle. But nigga like him, he's detrimental to his damn self. You know what I'm saying? He could have just fell back and conducted that interview with Suge Knight, and that would have been something to boast about for the platform and shit, that you was able to pull that off. I guess some people in the comments were saying that he did that because he's from Brooklyn and he's on Biggie's. Man, Big is not here. Big been dead almost 30 years and shit. It's time for niggas to try to move on and build their own castle and shit, and that's real. So that shit that he did with Suge Knight kind of reminds me of the same shit that he did with Alpo. He waited until Alpo was dead to start talking crazy about Alpo. And Suge, he waited until Suge was in jail to start playing with him. We know that he wouldn't even be fucking around with him like that to his face, or if he was on the streets. You dig? So yeah, some more sucker shit by Jermaine Champagne, man. What else can we expect? King Yeller from Chicago. They got some documents on him. Apparently this nigga was in Vegas telling on, you know, the guys from Chicago, telling the Vegas authorities, yo, these niggas be out here, you know, they spend a lot of time out here, you know, they killers and all of this shit. Voluntarily, they saying that he wasn't like no informant, with a partnership with him, but he was just voluntarily telling and shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they got the documents, and this is what it boiled down to. Because we seeing a lot of this is starting to surface. Them old block niggas, King Von and them niggas was psychopaths. Niggas was psychopathic killers, man, and they peers knew it. The niggas that was around in the music scene with them, the niggas that was their age, their demographic, who done been in jail with them, they knew the difference. These niggas is wild, dangerous, man. These niggas is devilish and dangerous. And no matter how much I profess to be a gangster, I don't feel comfortable around them or with them on the street. So this King Yella, he dip off and go start telling the authorities about him. I'm willing to bet they had a lot of people did that to them. I'm willing to bet them niggas had a lot of people that just walked in and just wanted to tell on them or called and wanted to tell on them, man. The world was a bad place, man, for them while that shit was going on. It seemed like, once the FBG Duck thing happened and they got indicted and shit started to, de-escalate. Quando Rondo just got federally indicted. So they removing bodies from the street. And it seemed like, it subsided now that them guys got incarcerated. I'm not saying that they were solely responsible for all the chaos in Chicago, because that wasn't the truth, but they seem to be the most popular and the ones pressing the issue. So, and they got the most pub out of the shit. And King Yella, when that shit got hot, he moved out of Chicago. He moved to Vegas. I was just out there. They told me he lived in Vegas. And the fact that he broke out, that tell you that he was concerned for his safety, his life, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And he just probably wasn't. Oh, he did tell the police that he seen one of them niggas, not none of the old block niggas. Breezy, I think his name was Beezy or Breezy. He seen him in a Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas and shit like that. Scared the shit out of him, man. And next thing you know, he running it. Killers and shit, niggas that do shit like that, they should keep that in mind, man. Motherfuckers are afraid of you. People are afraid of you. People ain't gonna shoot it out with you. Everybody not gonna shoot it out with you. Everybody don't carry guns. Some people will try to retaliate in other ways. And as you seeing from Trench's News, they going for the jugular by working with the courts and the system to get niggas off the street. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more people. It's another nigga named Butter that testified to. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more people to come in regards to this whole old block situation. Maybe people that's watching this shit, young guys from the younger generation who still got, a chance, will look at old block. We'll look at the YSL case. We'll look at the YFN case. We'll look at Quando Rondo. These are people that they're fans of. They watch them on videos. They share it. Maybe they'll say to themselves, man, I need to chill out a little bit. Maybe I need to turn it down, man, because God is placing all the signals before us and shit. All we seeing is incarceration and death. Incarceration and death. Anybody that's attached to that type of lifestyle. But let me get to what I came here for, because I'm 100% responsible for protecting the credibility of my platform and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I can't allow anybody to just arrive here and try to attack theories, beliefs, and truths that I found through real journalism. But anyway, Greg Taylor. Greg Taylor is a guy, he's a player from Detroit. That's what I acknowledge him as. That's what I've always said about him. I'm going to leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Seem to have a lot of polish. They whole little crew, Mark Curry and all them niggas, bunch of live, older baller niggas. That's what I got out of it. But I got to be frank about this. this situation. Greg Taylor, who I've interviewed, if you want to look, you could go on my platform and find him. G hooked it up. He's on my platform talking about MC Breed some years ago. I interviewed him a while ago. Greg Taylor is on the Art of Dialogue, and he said some things about Haitian Jack. Now, let's go into everything because I have to, right? This is just the truth. And I've said this before, I probably develop relationships, personal relationships during the course of doing my job, but I have to stand for myself because nobody's standing for my best interest right now. I don't feel nobody is standing up for my best interest right now, so I'll gladly do it, right? Boom. Mark Curry is somebody that paid me lots of money, was very generous with me, invited me into his home. We worked together. I did a lot to resuscitate him online, his online presence. I did all of his music videos that y'all be looking at. I did them joints. He didn't have no music videos at Bad Boy. He was in one video at Bad Boy. That was Bad Boy for Life when he was on the motorcycle. I did everything. And if you follow my platform, you know our relationship. Whenever something happens with him, like the Black Rob situation where his character was under attack, I was the first to stand up for him. I was the first to protect his name. I was the first one when y'all was calling him old bum nigga in the comments. I was the first to let y'all know, nah, it's not like that. This dude is well put together despite his career at Bad Boy. And I shared with y'all how he got there and everything. But anyway, boom. Mark came to me for something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he said, yo, I need to get on the live with you. We need to do this and this and that. While we was on the live, he wasn't really sure about the direction he wanted to take the audience in. So he told me, yo, man, I respect what you do, man. You like one of the, the best at what you do. And I love your dribble and, your line of questioning. So I'm going to give this shit to you and let you just run it. And we go from there. At which point I started to do my thing. During the course of me doing my thing, it was revealed that Suge Knight put Diddy in the full Nelson. Nobody ever heard that nowhere in the world. Except on my platform. Mark said he was the first one to say it. Nobody else said it. 2 days later, Gene Deal is on the Art of Dialogue repeating everything that Mark Curry said on my platform as if he was there. Gene wasn't even there. He wasn't even there when that shit happened with Jake and Puff and Wolf and all. He wasn't even there. But he's on the Art of Dialogue reciting. Maino watch television. Everything that Mark Curry said on my platform, Gene is running it to him, right? So I'm telling Mark, he asked me how I felt about that. I said, I ain't like that shit because Gene wasn't there. If the nigga wanted to know what happened, he could have asked me or he could have asked you and shit. Like the conversation arose out of our dialogue and out of my interview. Mind you, while this is going on with Gene on the Art of Dialogue, my name wasn't mentioned. Gully TV name wasn't mentioned. They didn't say, as mentioned on the Gully TV interview, apparently Suge Knight put Diddy in the full. None of that was saying. None of that was mentioned from Gene nor from Art of Dialogue. So I don't like it. They piggybacking my shit.